Hey guys, my name's Harry. I'm doing a FX video tutorial for FS Blogspot. It's a blog on all on flight simulation, so you can check that out after the video. This is my first ever video for FSX, and basically what I'm going to tell you guys, and this is just for the beginners, is I'm going to teach you how to do a standard departure in the PMDG B737-700NGX. Right now I am flying the 737-700, but the procedures we shall be using are capable for the 900, 800, 700 and the 600. So like I said before, this is for real beginners, you know, people have just like kind of got past the stage of knowing how to fly default aircraft and they want to go on to the next stage, which in my books was the PMDG. So if you want a good tutorial, hopefully I can make one for you guys for beginners. So let's go. So let's say you're at the stand. Right now we're going to be doing a departure from Santa Ana, which is KSNA in Orange County, Southern California. We should be flying to Sacramento, but you're not actually going to see me going to Sacramento. This is just going to be a departure video going through the procedures of the departure. So let's say you're at the stand, we're at gate 4 and you're at the stand, we're doing a dusk departure, so it's pretty dark. You want some lighting in the aircraft. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go down towards where the yoke is, and there's a panel right here. These switches all control the lighting of the MCP, PFDs, all this area where the mouse is going right now. So on the main panel you want to scroll the dial all the way to the right, and now you can see it's lighting up all the words. It lights up the altitude, the speed, the courses, all the little words. That's what it lights up. Go a couple more to the right, background brightness, dial that all the way to the right. It will make the whole of the front cockpit area, MCPs, PFDs, make it all light up as well, which is very useful for doing nighttime departures. One more over, the AFDS flood. That just does the MCP, just lights up the MCP, so if you're landing, you could probably have that on. I mean, normally when you do a departure, you want to have minimal light as possible to make it easier for a pilot to take off. So once you've got that done, you want to have all these overhead circuit breaker lights and switches, fuel pumps, etc. You want to have those on. So let's go to the cockpit, overhead lower panel. You can see here there's two switches, circuit breakers, panel brightness. Switch the panel brightness all the way to the right, scroll the mouse wheel forward. Same with the circuit breakers. Now if we pan out, you can see it's lit up all the switches on the overhead panel, which is also something very useful for night flights. Now if you want the whole cockpit to be lit up, which is normally what every pilot does during pre-flight, landing and mid-flight and cruise, you don't have the dome light on during takeoff or landing. So all you do is you go to the top of the overhead, you see the dome white, just click that and it will bring the whole cockpit lighting on. All the cockpit will be lit up, which looks pretty nice right now. So let's go back into the virtual cockpit. So that's the lighting done. Congratulations, you figured out the lighting. Next up I'm going to talk to you guys about the departure. Okay, so now we're going to do the CDU calculations. We're going to put the waypoints, the departure briefing, all that kind of stuff into the CDU, because without putting that into the CDU the aircraft won't have a clue where to go. So to get to the CDU, just go straight down the virtual cockpit. This right here is what we call the CDU. And before I go on, I just want to make it clear for a beginner, don't worry about cold or dark states. You want to go straight to a default, and then that will automatically give you full tank of gas, 45,000, and so you don't have to worry about any of the fuel or anything like that. Right now you just want to focus on the easy parts. So you want to go into the FMC, top left, ident, and you see here nav data AIRAC. I have the second to the latest one, 1201. So if you update your AIRAC, AIRAC basically gives you the latest procedures, departures, arrivals. That's basically what the AIRAC is. I have 1201, and if you update it, if you want to make sure it's been successful with the update, you just go to AirAC and look straight on the first page in the ident page and it will show right there. So we go to position init, reference airport. If you click just under the index, it will give you a green band. That means you can use a keyboard. So Kilo, Sierra, November Alpha, KSNA. Don't worry about the gate, that doesn't really work with FSX. So origin, just input that. Arrival airport, Sacramento, KSMF, Kilo, Sierra, Mike, Foxtrot. Runway will be 19 right. And from there, we shall go to click departure arrival, KSNA departure, and then right here we're doing a channel 1 departure. Like I said earlier, you want to click channel 1, and then you want to click. Don't have to click any of these transitions right here. We'll input that in later on. So go for the route. Next page, see it says channel 1 to SXC, which is what we're going to do. In my mind, that is our transition today, because it's with SNA departures it kind of varies sometimes, but today we're going to do a channel 1 to SXC, which is Santa Catalina. So from Santa Catalina, this right here is a departure, so congratulations, you have your departure in place. Next we're going to put LAX VOR, so now we're going to continue with our route to Sacramento. We're going to type LAX in and put that in the to column. After that we're going to go for CZQ VOR, and then after that we shall be doing our arrival stage. And because I'm not going to show you the whole flight, we'll do that right now. Normally what you would do is you go to departure arrival again. This time go to KSMF arrival, and we're actually going to do a RAPS 5 arrival. So you click RAPS 5, because we're not going to be doing the actual full flight. I'm not going to be showing you that. I won't worry about the runways, but normally if you were going to do a landing, you'd choose from one of the following runways: ILS, RNAV landing, or a regular visual. So you don't have to worry about that right now. We'll go back into the route file, and now you can see it's all there, nicely put in for us. So after that you have to make sure to activate it. Then once you activate it, the execute illuminate light will come on. Execute again. Next we'll go to the performance initialization page. So here, 0 fuel weight, that is automatically done for you. Just click it and does it for you. Reserves, we'll put just 2 in, 2000. Cost index is basically how much it costs the company to fly the plane. Most airplanes fly from 20, 28 to 100. Companies like British Airways, they'll usually fly their 747s at cost index 90. They'll fly their 767s at 40. Today we'll do 28 in the 737-700. Cruise altitude we'll do 330, 33,000 feet. Then once that's done, an execute light will come on. Just execute it. Next we'll go to the N1 limits. This basically here is how much thrust is being used for the climb. Or to make it easy, we'll just leave it on what it's already selected. Then we'll go to the takeoff page. This is the last page we're going to use. We'll use flaps 5. Input that in the top left. CG percentage. Click that, it'll automatically calculate it for us. And you must note the trim, 6.89. So that's basically just 6.9. V speeds, to confirm these, just click V1, V rotate, V2. That's confirmed it for us. So, go to the legs page, double check we got everything in. And also, I just did something stupid. If you do have the green band here illuminated with the keyboard, and you forget to turn off, you must click it to turn it off. Otherwise, you can't do anything around the aircraft. But anyway, in the legs page, we have our whole departure in place. All the legs seem to be correct. And now we are going to go through the charts for the departure. Okay, so now we're going to go through the departure charts, and right here I've got the channel 1 departure opened up. To get the charts, all you have to do is go to flightaware.com, then go to the bottom and look for the airport code, type in KSNA, go to the top, map and diagram, then go down to the bottom right, click that, and you see here it gives you all these links right here are all charts. So you have departure, runway approaches, and you have the approach charts. Right here you'll find channel 1 chart. Mine's already opened up. So you can see here, this is the airport SNA. Here's 19 right runway. This is the standard runway used for all jets there. 19 left is VFR flights. So we shall be departing 19 right, straight on the runway heading for 1 mile. Once we hit the radial of 118 degrees, we shall then turn left to 175 degrees. Once 175 degrees and we hit the radial of 132, the autopilot shall take us on a course of 200 degrees. Then once we hit 264, once we hit the appropriate length in the miles, we shall turn right again to 264 degrees. I'll make it clear as well that as soon as we take off and we hit about 500 feet, we'll enable autopilot and LNAV, and then LNAV will basically take us in this whole course, so we don't have to really worry about all these different headings because the autopilot will do it for us. So once we're on the 264 degrees of course, then we hit the SXC, Santa Catalina VOR, and then once we have hit the VOR, we shall then turn right to a course of 344 degrees up to the LAX VOR. This is stuff that we've already put into the CDU. And once we've hit the LAX, we're going to make a left course towards Gorman, which is GMN, Golf Mike November. Then we shall head up to Gorman, and then after that we continue our course, that is our route that is in the CDU. Below at the very bottom of the chart you'll see departure route descriptions, takeoff runways. I'll tell you in more detail of what you should be doing, but I find it actually easier just to look at the chart and the arrows and tell you where to go, and it makes it easier, I think, more for a beginner. So these are the charts we shall be using, and in a second when we go back into the cockpit I'll show the PFD, primary flight display, and you'll see the course mimics exactly what our cockpit PFD will show. So we'll go into the cockpit right now. Okay, so now we're going to set up the MCP. We'll do the altitudes and the speed. For the altitude, we're just going to go straight to our cruise altitude, which is 33,000 feet. This just makes it easier because we have no ATC, so we'll go straight to 33,000. Then we shall set our V2 speed, which is 145 knots. Put that in the speed indicating. Remember to turn on auto throttle and the flight director switches. After that we shall go to our anti-skid and select RTO, so we'll switch it to go down. That's the standard procedure for any aircraft. So after that, that's all set up correctly. You want to go to the overhead panel. Make sure that the fasten seatbelt signs are on. Make sure your logo light is on and the position steady navigation light is on. Then we shall go to the center pedestal, which is right here. If you're flying online, make sure, and there's no ATC online, make sure to put the frequency to 122.8. That's the Unicom frequency. After that you want to go down to the TCAS switch. Normally you'd engage the TCAS once you're about to taxi, but because this is a beginner flight it makes it easier just to do it all now. So you want to put the TCAS all the way to the right until it shows TARA. TCAS is basically a traffic awareness system, and it's very important for aviation. It makes it so you can see aircraft around you, whether they're above you, below you, or next to you. If you want to test it, you can. Just click test and it will tell you if it's working or not, and of course it will be because this is not real world basically. After that you want to arm the speed brakes, so just click shift and / and that will arm the speed brakes. And now we are ready to push and start. So to push and start, all you do is press shift and P and then 1 or 2 to make the nose head whichever direction you want. From our stand we'll do shift P and 2. So next time you see the video we shall be ready to taxi. Okay, so now we are ready to taxi. We've pushed back. We are on taxiway Alpha. Because we put the TCAS on at the stand, you need to engage it so you can see other aircraft. All you do is just, you see where my mouse is right now, just go to right here where it says TFC, just click it, and that will engage TCAS, and then you can see aircraft around you. Now we are taxiing. You want to go to the overhead panel, engage taxi lights and the wheel light, and then we can start taxiing right now. Also, we need to set the trim as well. I almost forgot about the trim. So the trim is very important because when you take off from the 737, you basically can't have any back pressure on the yoke to engage the autopilot. You have to have no pressure, otherwise you can't engage the autopilot. So what the trim does is it helps you maintain the pitch you have. So once you take your hand off the yoke, the airplane will stay in that pitch attitude. So the trim was 6.9, so all we do is just roll the mouse wheel on this wheel here, which is the trim setting, to 6.9, which is basically 7, which is right here. Now that's set. Also we need to set the flaps, so do flaps 5, 1, 2, and 5, and you can see right here that the dial is moving to 5. And now we can start our taxi. Release the parking brake. You want to taxi at about 10 to 15 knots. Once we get to the runway, we shall turn off the dome light. Like I said earlier, you don't take off or land with the dome light on. You must switch it off. So we'll do that once we're short of the runway. And we shall make a left turn right here. Follow the centre line. We are cleared to cross 19 left. Check the traffic. We shall come to a steady stop just before 19 arrives. Remember to engage the parking brake. And now we should turn off the dome light, so we go up to here, right click it, and we shall now turn on the landing lights and the runway lights. Okay, so now we are cleared to take off. I've decided to turn the cockpit sounds off just because it makes it easier for you to hear me. But basically we are cleared to take off. Runway lights are on. Dome light is off in the aircraft, in the cockpit, and we have our standard PF MCP lights are on right now. So I'm just going to go through what's going to happen once we take off. Once we are climbing through 500 feet, I shall engage the autopilot, which is right here, left autopilot engage. Then I shall engage lateral navigation, which is LNAV, that basically tells the aircraft where to go. Then once lateral navigation is engaged, I shall select level change. Some pilots prefer to use VNAV, some prefer to use level change. I use level change because it just keeps me under 250 knots normally, and it just keeps me at a nice climbing attitude instead of being too high or too low. So that's what's going to happen. Let's start our taxi. I'll use 2D cockpit to make the frame rates better. If you're wondering about my specifications, I have an i7 2600K running at 4.6 GHz, so I could use a virtual cockpit, but it just makes it easier like this. So I have a 4.6 GHz, and I run a 580 GTX, 2TB hard drive, Corsair H80 liquid cooling, and the Windows 7 64-bit. So, cleared to takeoff, and let's go. Rotate nice and easy. Gear up. So we're at 500 feet. Engage autopilot. Lateral navigation. Level change. You can turn the anti-skid to off. Flaps to 2. Increase the speed to 220 knots. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear me then, but you want to make sure the anti-skid from RTO is to off. Make sure that the speed is increased to about 225 knots. Pull all the flaps up. And right now we are ascending to a good height. You can see here that we are on our chart route. You can see that we're following the course. Right now we're heading 175, which is exactly what the charts told us to do. The LNAV is doing what it's supposed to do. You can see also we're going to go off to 200, then it'll take us 260 degrees to the SXC VOR. And if you want to make sure you're going the right direction, just go to your legs page and you can see all the waypoints are correct. So right now we're doing 210 knots. Looks good. We're starting our right turn. I will engage vertical navigation right now, which is VNav. And really from now on, there's not much you really do. Well, actually there is, but from a beginner standpoint, there's not much to really be focused on. You just continually look at the PFD, make sure you're heading the right direction, look at your speeds, keep watching your altitude. It's really important to keep on top of the instruments. Don't let them get away from you, basically. Looks like a nice dusk departure. You can see the sun setting. We are now over the Pacific Ocean, heading towards Santa Catalina. Santa Ana and Orange County, Southern California, is behind us right now, and we are well on our way to Sacramento. So if you've been keeping up to date so far with and following me correctly, you should right now be well on your way to flying the 737-NGX. This is a normal procedure departure, and right now I'll just go over the main points of the plane and what you need to be focused on. So, like I said before, flaps 5 for a takeoff. Once you're climbing through about 600 feet, you want to engage the autopilot. And remember, the autopilot basically controls everything the aircraft does. Always make sure that the flight director switches are on. The flight director switch basically makes the airplane follow your route. Make sure the auto throttle is armed. That controls this automated speeds. Once you engage autopilot, make sure to turn on LNAV. LNAV is what makes the plane follow your route, so the flight director is what makes it work, and the LNAV is what makes it follow the route. You can either turn on level change or VNAV from when you turn on LNAV. VNAV basically, and VNAV does control your speeds, so it will. You have VNAV. Most pilots have VNAV during their cruise all the time. They will also have it on during the climb and descent. So VNAV is very important for your speeds. After about 1,000 feet, you want to have your flaps all the way down to 0. Make sure also that the anti-skid is from RTO, and make sure it's on off. Also take off the speed brakes, so just do shift / once again, and that is really all you need to focus on. After that, the plane shall follow the correct guidelines and it will do everything you want it to do. You can see right now we're doing our next heading. We're turning towards SXC, which is what, if you remember, that's what the chart showed us. We would be turning right to the island, which is right here, and you can see that is exactly what the plane is doing. And it is a great feeling. It's a great feeling as well when you get a complex aircraft like this and you fly it correctly for the first time. I remember the first time I flew a PMDG plane, it was a great feeling for me, and hopefully this tutorial is helping you also. But you can see we're going on our course to 266 towards the SXC VOR, and soon enough we'll look to our right and we'll see mainland America. Where my mouse is pointed right now, that's LA area, and to the right is where we've come from, which is Santa Ana. If you want to, you can also turn back on the dome light. To turn the dome light back on, just go to the very top, click it, and now we have the main cockpit lighting back on again. Let's double check our routing, make sure we're going correctly in the right direction. Looks like we are. You can see here that we are 12.6 nautical miles from the Santa Catalina VOR. Once we hit that VOR, we shall turn right to LAX. And then also, if you can see here, is a green word, green letters that say T/C. That basically means top cruise. Top cruise is where we are estimated to be our cruising altitude. It looks like we're going to be way ahead of that from where we are right now. We're at 17,000 feet basically, and we're going to be climbing to 33,000 feet. I think we will be probably LAX by the time we get to 33,000 feet. Our speed is 347 knots, so that's all looking good. Fuel looks fine, 42.8. We're in a climbing stage still, obviously. If you want to bring up the FMC, waypoints all look good. Santa Catalina, LAX, Gorman, CZQ. And right here we have our altimeter settings. We're above the 18,000 feet of transition. So once you see this golden band illuminate, you want to turn it off. All you do is you click this marking here, which is STD, which stands for standard. Click standard and it'll turn it to STD on the PFD. So now you're in standard mode. We have nearly completed our standard departure. We have now flown over Santa Catalina VOR, and we are now heading back towards the mainland, towards Los Angeles VOR. I think now probably the right time to end the tutorial. I hope somewhat it has been useful to you guys. I may have sounded pretty nervous throughout the video just because it's my first tutorial ever, so I hope you guys won't kill me on that one, but I do hope it's been useful to some of you. I know it's pretty long. I'll probably get better at making the video shorter over the more I do, just because I'll get used to it and the time span will be easy for me. But as you can see, we're heading back towards LAX, and we'll be on our way to Sacramento, climbing to 22,000 feet. Autopilot is doing everything correctly, and we're finishing our departure. So once again, thanks a lot for watching. Go and check out fsblogspot.com, which is actually www.fsblogspot.wordpress.com. Link is in the description. Have a good day, guys.